Which brings me finally to Shedeur Sanders. Before the draft, Shedeur and Dion did have dinner with Jimmy Haslam, the owner of the Cleveland Browns. They did like Jimmy Haslam, and he liked them. Jimmy Haslam loves publicity, and he knew that once the 5th round hit, that if he told his GM and his head coach, we are taking Shedeur here, that it would cause quite a big publicity splash. Jimmy Haslam took Shedeur. Kevin Stefanski wanted zero to do with Shedeur Sanders. They had already taken 50 slots earlier, Dylan Gabriel. But just because Jimmy Haslam likes Dion, and in turn his son, it gives me hope when Dion went on the New Heights podcast and he predicted that Shedeur would get to start some games for this year's Cleveland Browns. So it's hard realistically to see how Shedeur is going to start games for this team and this head coach unless the owner steps in and says, no, Shedeur will start. And trust me, Jimmy Haslam is capable of doing just that. If Shedeur were the quarterback hypothetically for the whole year, this would be the talk of the world. You would become the center of the NFL universe. Every game for the Cleveland Browns would be must see. So I'm just hoping that Dion knows something I don't know, and that Jimmy has assured him that he will see to Shedeur getting his shot at some point this year in Cleveland.
Every week, so I have 6 games a week, so I'm happy rather than just having 1 game a week, on the weekend. So the scout team receivers, all of us, we all know like every day is game day, and we definitely approach everything in that fashion and everything, because I truly believe the receivers we have on the scout team is really explosive and they're really great. They just need an opportunity. So, I'm very thankful. I have those guys, out there with me whenever I'm out there competing.
Ladies and gentlemen, buckle up. Tonight's story isn't just football, its pride, its bloodline, its legacy. It's about a young quarterback with the Sanders name blazing across his jersey. Refusing to sit quietly, refusing to wait his turn, and shaking the NFL with whispers of a trade that could flip the league upside down. This is the Shedeur Sanders saga. Picture it. Late August, Browns practice field in Berea, Ohio. The air is heavy, coaches bark, reporters scribble. On one snap, Shedeur Sanders, rookie, son of primetime himself, lines up against Cleveland's starters. Out of the corner of his eye, the nightmare, Myles Garrett, the NFL's most feared pass rusher. Players freeze, holding their breath. Shedeur doesn't blink. He takes the snap, rolls out, and threads it into coverage with the kind of confidence that screams, "I'm the starter." It was just practice, but for Shedeur, that rep was everything. It was proof he belonged. Proof he wouldn't rot on the sidelines. Proof that if Cleveland kept him waiting, he'd find somewhere else that wouldn't. Now rewind. Shedeur wasn't some underdog project. At Jackson State, at Colorado, he dominated. Mel Kiper Jr. called him a first-round lock. Accuracy, swagger. Boise looked like a franchise QB before he ever set foot on an NFL field. And yet draft night humiliated him. Day 1 gone, day 2 gone. By day 3, he was still waiting, slipping, watching his dreams slide into the dirt. Baltimore was ready at 141, but Shedeur shut it down. Why? Because he wasn't about to sit behind Lamar Jackson for the next decade. Shedeur Sanders doesn't play backup, not to Lamar, not to anyone. So the Ravens backed off, and the Browns swooped in at 144. A steal on paper. But to Shedeur, it smelled like a trap. Cleveland already had Dylan Gabriel, another rookie. They had Joe Flacco, a 40-year-old fossil who refuses to retire, and Deshaun Watson, lurking with his baggage. It was a quarterback circus. Training camp turned into a war zone. Shedeur didn't get the first-team reps Gabriel did. He didn't get the spotlight like Flacco. He got scout team scraps, throwing to practice squad receivers while the chosen ones hogged the shine. But then preseason hit-tan Shedeur lit it up. In the opener against Carolina, he threw 2 touchdowns. The crowd buzzed, analysts whispered. Maybe this kid's the real deal. But the high didn't last. In the finale against the Rams, protection collapsed 5 sacks, brutal hits. The critics pounced, and the Browns predictably handed the job to Flacco. For Shedeur, it was a gut punch. Another slap in the face. Another reminder, in Cleveland, he's just another rookie. But let's be real, he's not just another rookie. He's the son of Deion Primetime Sanders, a Hall of Famer who never once sat quietly. Deion said it loud on the New Heights podcast. Why the hell would my son sit behind Lamar for 10 years? When Prime speaks, the league listens. And the whispers grew. Maybe Shedeur doesn't see Cleveland as home. Maybe he wants out. Maybe he's already plotting his escape. Publicly, Shedeur plays the company man. He tells ESPN he's grateful, he's learning, he's growing. But then comes the slip the one line that set the league on fire. On ESPN Cleveland, he says, if you see the quarterback play in this league right now, I know I'm capable of doing better than that. Boom. That wasn't a rookie learning in silence. That was a rookie firing a warning shot. Shedeur Sanders isn't built for clipboards and headsets. He's not built to watch Joe Flacco lob ducks into the dirt. He wants the ball. He wants the moment. And if Cleveland won't hand it over, somebody else will. Think about it. The Browns are 1-2. Their offense is trash. Flacco looks like Father Time in cleats. Gabriel's too raw. Watson S. still a question mark. Yet they still won't give Shedeur a shot. Meanwhile, teams like the Falcons, Raiders, Giants, and Saints are starving for a QB. To them, Shedeur isn't a project. He's a franchise cornerstone waiting to explode. So why would he waste his prime years as Cleveland's scout team sideshow? If he pushes for a trade, who can blame him? Because remember, this isn't just Shedeur's story. This is the Sanders story. Prime didn't raise bench warmers, he raised killers. He raised stars. And Deion's already gone on record saying Shedeur will start this year. But if the Browns keep him locked up, Prime will make noise. He'll put the league on blast. He'll demand his son's destiny unfolds somewhere bigger, louder, better. Because the Sanders brand isn't built on patience, it's built on prime-time moments. Right now, Shedeur is still Cleveland's number 3 quarterback. Still the scout team star. Still forced to sit and wait. But listen closely, you can hear the frustration. You can hear the ambition. You can hear the message. He won't let anyone else write his career. The real question isn't if Shedeur Sanders will start Tits where. Will it be in Cleveland, clawing his way through politics while Flacco stumbles and Watson limps? Or will it be somewhere bold enough to hand him the keys today? This isn't just another rookie story. This isn't just another backup QB. This is Shedeur Sanders, a quarterback with the name, the bloodline, and the talent to flip the script. If Cleveland doesn't unleash him, don't be shocked when he makes the boldest move of all. Don't be shocked when he demands a trade. And don't be shocked when years from now, we look back and say Cleveland had him and blew it. Because Shedeur Sanders isn't here to wait. He's here to win, and time is running out.